All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the Boxing Rush Hour show. My next guest, he's a super lightweight prospect, Joshua James Pagan, goes by JJ Pagan, 10-0, 4 KOs, 24 years old, out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. He's going to be main eventing now on Friday, October 18th in San Juan, Puerto Rico at the Coca-Cola Music Hall, live on the zone. Joshua, or do you want me to call you JJ? Either way, how you doing?
Doing good. How are you? Whatever you want. JJ or Joshua. Fine.
Okay, let's go with JJ then. It makes it a little bit easier. All right, JJ, listen, I appreciate you coming on. I know you got a fight coming up in less than a week. Uh, for those that may not be familiar with you, give us a little bit of a bio blast of you, the person growing up in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and what that was like.
Yeah. Okay. I grew up, just always with an interest in boxing. You know, uh, first we always used to gather our family at the house to watch the big fights. I always had a good childhood. Uh, we just all loved boxing. We loved watching the sport. The first big fight that I watched was Mayweather versus De La Hoya when I was 7 years old. So like just watching that fight, that really got me into it, So that was the only sport that I did when I went to going being in middle school all the way to high school. Like I didn't do any other sports. I didn't do any other activities, no partying, no drinking, no drugs. I just had a vision. And with the guidance of my dad and my mom and my siblings, I got to where I am right now. So I'm very grateful for them.
Yeah, and I was gonna ask that because I know that I think I heard something about your father was a fighter as well. So did that have heavy influence as a young kid coming up to maybe do that as well because he was a fighter too?
For sure. I always wanted to be like my dad. I look up to him so much. So knowing that he used to box and just knowing that he used to do that, it made me very interested from that point on. And then just watching the Mayweather versus De La Hoya fight that night, that's what really glued me in. That's what really there's no turning back from that.
And was there ever a point during that time, like, you started at that age and then was there ever a point in that journey while going through the amateurs where, maybe you might have lost a little bit of interest, but then at one point it really like stuck to you, like this is what I want to do, period. I don't want to do anything else. What point was that for you, if there was?
Yeah, I lost my first three fights as an amateur. So I started off 0-3. So I didn't know what the future held for me. I was like, I don't know if I should do this anymore. So I just stuck with it though. I went back to the gym. I kept training and kept studying, watching all the legends of the sport. Started winning fights, and that's what really kept me going. It really drew me in. So I was like, this is what I want to do.
And who is JJ Pagan outside of the ring for those that are interested in knowing, getting a little bit of a peek of who you are, JJ the person.
I mean, I'm a nerd. You know, I like love video games. I love uh movies. I just love I love watching sports. I'm a homebody. I go to the gym, come home, I'm playing my game or just relaxing. So just very simple person. I'm not out here partying. I'm not out here doing all kinds of stuff. I just like being home and just playing my game. That's my idea of a good time. So
All right. And then you fought 5 times last year. But this year this is only your second fight. Just kind of
yeah.
curious on what changed from last year to this year that reduced the number of fights that you've had.
Yeah, so you know, beginning of the year I was supposed to fight in February. Uh that fight fell through like the week of the fight. So I was just like, okay, stay in the gym, keep training. Then I ended up getting just a slight injury, sciatica in my back. So I had to take some time off of that. Ended up fighting in May. Got cut, obviously, and then was gonna fight in July again, but the cut didn't really heal up fully like I wanted it to. So now we're here about to fight October 18th.
Yeah, and I wanted to get that point out because sometimes folks they just don't know like the inner workings and what happens. Like real life stuff happens. Injuries happen, cuts happen, and that can delay someone's activity level. So I wanted to make sure that people understood that, and I appreciate you being honest about that. Training camp for this fight specifically, where'd you have it, and did you add anything new to this camp specifically, whether personnel, whether exercises or whatever the case may be? Did you add anything to it, and where did you mostly have your camp at?
I mean, knowing that we're fighting a 10 rounder, we stepped everything up. We adjusted our training. We got more on the schedule, knowing exactly what days to train, what days to take it lighter. Just because that's very important. You have to know when to rest your body, when to listen to your body, and everything, especially when the rounds get higher and stuff. So we spent our camp. We went to Vegas. We spent a couple weeks in Vegas. Came back, trained mostly in Grand Rapids, and then since Sunday we've been here in Puerto Rico, just closing out the camp. Getting the last couple of days of sparring in, and just now we're just tapering down and you know getting the weight down, and which hasn't been too hard because it's really hot over here in Puerto Rico. But yeah, it's been a great camp though.
All right, and then your father is your head trainer, correct?
Yeah, my father and I have another coach named Steve Maniaci.
Okay, and then so how has that been? Because the father-son relationship in boxing that can be either really, really good or it can be, so-so because, there's no divide between, the father, the trainer, and then, the father, right? And so,
Yeah,
how has that been for you guys so far?
it's been great, honestly. We know when to turn on the boxing and then turn it off. You know, we've been doing this for over 11 years. He's been by my side. And what makes him such a great coach too is he's willing to learn from everybody because there's a lot of coaches out there that they don't want their son working with somebody else, or they're just very stuck in their ways. But my dad is the complete opposite of that. We love going to different places. We love learning from different people, no matter the coach or the fighter. So that's where we really thrive, is our openness to learn new things. So we have a great relationship.
All right, that's what's up. All right, so you're main eventing in Puerto Rico on Friday. It's at the Coca-Cola Music Hall. It's a big deal because if I'm not mistaken, your father's from Puerto Rico and you have family there, correct?
Yeah.
So what does this mean to you being able to do that is at such a early part of your career where you're main eventing somewhere where your family roots are from?
It means the world to me. I'm gonna have a lot of family here on fight night, watch, rooting me on and everything. And I wish my grandfather was alive to watch it because he's been my supporter since day one. He passed away 4 years ago, but he said no matter what happens, just keep training hard, keep following your dream. You're gonna do something with it. So I know he's watching down on me right now, and he's very proud of me. So it means a lot. It's very personal to me. I'm out there representing my family and my grandfather, most importantly.
All right, that's awesome, man. Lastly, what should people expect on October 18th? And what is your 2025 vision?
You can expect a great performance, the best version of myself. You know, uh, Mentally focused, physically. I'm just an all around great performance, and I'm looking forward to it a lot. And my vision for 2025 is to just stay active, uh, keep keep progressing, keep fighting the tough fights and building that experience, and just going from there.
All right. Well, listen, JJ, I appreciate your time, and I wish you the best of luck in Puerto Rico on Friday the 18th.
Thank you for having me, Abe. I appreciate it.
All right.